Hi everyone. It's been a while since I've posted a recipe or cooking video, and I wanted to do so again. I've been thinking a lot about how to help myself in the mornings. That seems to be when I'm weakest, and so having breakfasts ready for me when I wake up and already cooked and basically just needs to be warmed up is what's really helping me make the most out of my life and the physical challenges that I have. So one of the recipes that I've just made is what's showing on your screen there. It's for breakfast eggs, and instead of bacon, I've used store pre-made, fully cooked and frozen meatballs. So what I've done is put together 18 eggs, 1.5 pounds of marble cheese, 3 large green peppers, about 30 meatballs. I selected chicken, but there's lots of options out there that would affect the flavor of this, and 3 onions. Although for the onions, what I did was bought store-dried onions, and then I threw in about 2 cups worth of water so that the onions would rehydrate and sort of poof up again. And then I put it in the slow cooker and left it to cook for about 8 hours. And by that time, especially during the last 30 minutes, the eggs started going hard like you would be used to cooking them in the frying pan. And they got that consistency that they were done and ready to be ate. I have a variety of glass containers with plastic lids and a rubber grommet that goes around, sort of seals it, that I've put these into, and I've broke them up into 3 breakfasts worth of eggs. There's different ways you could do it. You could potentially freeze these on a cookie sheet, and then after about 12 hours get the cookie sheet out of the freezer and take a knife and sort of section it up into what you would use for one meal, and then put them back in the freezer and give it another 12 hours or so, and then take the blocks of eggs and put them into one container where you could just lift out 1 egg at a time and then warm that up for breakfast. I mean, you potentially could use a muffin tray and fill the little holes with the eggs, and then after a day or two, take them out, put hot water on the back, and basically they'd be like ice pucks, and you could warm 1 or 2 of them up depending on how much you have for breakfast. Those are just sort of 2 of the ideas. Or else you get single serving containers from, the dollar store or a big box department store or online, and you fill them up individually and throw them in your freezer, and you just get them out one at a time as you're getting up in the morning and warm them up and eat them. If they're already cooked, all you're wanting to do is reheat them to a safe temperature. So what you could do is on thaw one, and throw it in your oven for, 350 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. That would get it back warmed up and at a reasonable temperature where you can eat it. Or if you're someone that likes a microwave, you could throw it in the microwave for about 3.5 or 4 minutes, depending on the power of your microwave, and get it warmed up. Alternatively, some people will use toaster ovens, and probably 20 minutes at around 350 in the toaster oven would be enough to get it warmed up again. What I would use though is what has a timer. And the reason I say this is if you get up in the morning and you're a little bit groggy, you don't want to fall asleep with the oven on or the toaster oven on where it won't shut itself off if you happen to fall back asleep. My toaster oven does have a timer. Microwaves obviously have a timer on them. And my cooking range oven also comes with a timer. So I don't have to worry about falling asleep and the oven staying on. It's just something to think about. So from this, there's a few things that you can apply to your life as well. And part of that is going to be having a friend over if you're wanting to cut up the food and make this together. I've talked before about people wanting to be empowered to help you in a practical way. And so having someone coming over and spending the time cracking open the eggs and cutting up the green peppers, and if you choose to buy a bag of onions and you break them up yourselves, that would be something else you could sit there and do with someone, and it'd be a chance to visit. It'd be doing something practical for you, and the relationship's really important also when you're going through either a chronic illness, or even if it's acute and maybe you're having a joint replaced and you're preparing for the surgery and the recovery after your operation. Anyway, I've given you some stuff to think about. There are other options for breakfast, but maybe having eggs and some type of meat once a week or twice a week might be nice for you, and having it already prepared would take the challenge out of how do you cook eggs with fresh green peppers and some onions and meatballs, and make it just easier for you to do, because it's easier, or it's harder to cook for one, but if you're making a large batch, it tends to be easier, and then just take advantage of your freezer. I hope all of you are doing well. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.